I'm Adrienne and welcome to my channel, The Minimal Approach. If you like the channel so far, please hit that subscribe button and like button if you like this video. It always means so much to me that you guys like this channel. So today I'm back for another makes video, and this time it's for the October makes. So I didn't do quite as much this month because I've been struggling a lot with one particular pattern since September. In September I did a muslin and it didn't work out, so I bought another pattern just to make this kind of like blazery jacket kind of look. Then I really went back to this Burda pattern in November and I was really obsessed with it, kind of making it work, and that's why I don't have as much makes, because I've been spending so much time trying to understand this one. Let's jump in. So the first thing I made this month is a Granville shirt, and the pattern is from Sewaholic. It was the first time I was working with one of her patterns, and I have to say I am so pleased. The instructions were a charm. The pattern pieces are like so well drawn, and I love the instruction on the patterns. They're very clear and it's very interesting to work with. This pattern has quite a few tricky parts to it, and I had to look into my dressmaking book, the indispensable guide from Jules Fallon, because the tower kind of like opening at the cuff I couldn't quite figure out, but I think this is because I've never done one, so that's why I had to go into my book, not because the instructions weren't clear enough. But I am so pleased. It's definitely my highlight of this month, and it's an highlight for quite a while. I made it with care. This fabric is from Fabricland, and I did the top stitching. I really applied myself. So here it is. I'll insert some pictures. Also, here you have the tower kind of like detail. Oh, the cuff is folded because I wore it already, so. Yeah, so here you can see this tower kind of like detail at the cuff. Yeah, it's great. It has little darts. It's quite fitted, and it's what I've been looking for in a shirt. Although I have to say, the sleeves are pretty long. I did shorten the sleeve about 1 centimeter, and they're still a bit long, so I'll definitely have to cut probably 2.5 centimeters, and the length is not that long. I think maybe I hemmed it a bit more than what I was supposed to. Maybe I did 2 times, kind of like 1.25 centimeters, no, 1 centimeter, so probably it's 2. But anyway, it's still a bit short, so next time I will do it a little bit longer, because I always put it inside my pants, so you kind of need to have good length to make it stay there and not just go out of the pants every time you move. But otherwise, yeah, this shirt was a charm to do. Like I said, the instructions were great, and they used a different method to do the collar, and it was a really great discovery for me to do it. There's a great tutorial also on their website on Sewaholic on how to do this method, and my top stitching is like really perfect. Even on the, you know, on this piece of the collar band, on the outside and on the inside, it matches perfectly. And yeah, so that's really a great success for me. Very proud of it. And right here at the collar, it fits perfectly as well. So yeah, great makes, and I absolutely suggest this pattern to everybody. And now I just want to buy more pattern from Sewaholic. So yeah, that was one great first make for October. My second make was this Kiri tank top. It's the floaty version, one I've never did before. I spoke about this make in my last video about sergers, because I just wanted to share that I won the first part of the So You Think You Can Sew challenge. I use this knit. That's a type of knit I've never worked before. It's super lightweight and it's very stretchy, and it has a pattern on it, so I'm not strong on patterns, as you know, but it was a great discovery for me to work with this, and I really applied myself so that the neckband and the straps fit very well. I also did pattern matching on the sides. I'm very proud of that. And there's also a shelf bra in the inside with an elastic, so that's cool because I didn't want my bra straps to show when I go to yoga class. So that's a great make as well. I've been wearing it when I go to yoga classes and I feel very good about it. Also, I centered this, the center of this kind of like mandala. If you guys know anything about yoga, you know that this is kind of like the center chakra where your energy is, so and your strength. So when I look at this and I wear it, I feel that it's a great reminder of my strength and my energy. The next thing that I did are the Shelly Leggings. So that's the second pair I did. I did grade the waist to a size smaller than my legs. And for the second time I did it because I saw with the first pair I'm wearing right now that the waist is a bit loose. So I'll try to show this to you guys now. And since I like my leggings pretty tight and that they really kind of like hold their position at my waist, I did the second version smaller and I'm so pleased with it. For those I used fabric from Mood, and the first fabric, the ones that I'm wearing right now, was a bit cheaper and it's very shiny. But it doesn't breathe that much, so for yoga, let's say if I know I'll be wearing these like for a long day, I love this second fabric so much better. So the first fabric that I'm talking about is the 5.6 ounce black made tricot with high compression in black, so from Mood. And the second one, the one that I love so much, is the Black Max Dry Wiccan Antimicrobial Performance S. Yeah, so that's for the leggings. They're not that long, so if you have very long legs, maybe you should think of lengthening it. And as for the waist, it's very high. So what I did for the second pair is I kind of like reduced the size of the waistband of about 2 centimeters, so it sits a little bit lower and it's more comfortable for me when I sit and when I do yoga poses. So yeah, so that's it for this pattern. It's a very lovely pattern and it comes together so quick, it's insane. I really like this pattern and it will definitely become my go-to for when I need leggings. And then I had leftovers from the legging fabric, so I did undies. I love this Acadia pattern. I think I do panties every month when I have leftovers. It's just such a good scrap buster, and with this fabric they're so comfortable. The next thing I did is the New Look 6651, a pattern that was given to me by my grandmother, and with fabric by my grandmother too, and it's this little kimono. It's supposed to be made with a knit, but I did it in a woven. But since it's super loose, I don't think it's an issue. What's an issue though is that I thought it was a great fabric to try my rolled M stitch, and I did, which was not a good idea because this stitch makes me completely insane. Because as you can see here, there's a little kind of like notch. That's because I had to redo the sleeve, because sometimes, for a reason that's really above me, the stitch kind of separates from the fabric. I think it's the way I'm holding it with the machine. It's probably my fault, but I just didn't figure out what I was doing wrong. So yeah, so the stitch kind of splits, and then you always want to go kind of like grab it again and grab it, so you're always eating up in your fabric. So I ended up having like this sleeve going like all the way like this, and yeah, so fortunately I had enough fabric to do the sleeve again, so I did it. And yeah, but it's terrible. Like this stitch, I don't really enjoy it at all, and I don't think it looks good on my machine. It's like too kind of like wide apart. I'll try to show an example of this to you. I don't know if you can see, but the stitches are a little bit too far apart, and I don't know if it's my machine or if it's always like this and I just never noticed it, but I don't enjoy this at all. That's a bit of a, I don't want to say a fail, but I'll have to work on this. And probably now what I'll do is that I'll just fold the kind of like M's over, so the rolled M will only show on the inside, which is fine. But I really wanted to try something special, and it just ended up being not special at all. And I feel like since I've had few wins in the past, I'm like confident that when I'm trying something it works. So when it doesn't, I'm so disappointed. I feel like at the beginning you try things and it doesn't really work, and you know, you kind of like used to it, but when you get those wins, it gets so hard to accept kind of like mistakes. And yeah, and I know I'm supposed to say I'm growing from this, but now I'm just upset. And now we get to this pattern, this Burda 6582, that has given me so much trouble since the beginning. I don't even know when I bothered doing a real version of it, since the muslin was such a fail. Yeah, I think I just really wanted to make it happen, and I didn't want to consider this a fail, so I cut it in so nice tencel fabric, black tencel that I got from Globe Tex. There's many pieces, there's the lining inside, so I bought linings, and I also cut the fabric to do the view D, so that's the skirt. And yeah, so I started to do it, and the collar just never wanted to happen. It was always kind of like bulky. What's wrong with this is that you need to cut in the fabric and then do some darts, and then there's a dot and you need to stop at the dart, and then you meet the other seam at this precise dot. But I'm really not good with dots. I like things to just go till the end, or I don't know, I just don't. Maybe it's because I don't take enough time to mark my fabric, because I think it's so boring, or anyway. But since the muslin was so bad, for this one I put in great effort to kind of like do my markings and respect the good seam allowance, so I don't know why this was such a fail. But anyway, so here it is. Maybe I need to kind of like iron it a bit, press it. There was so much ease on the sleeve cap that I had to cut the top of the sleeve cap to make it happen, and then I get kind of like this little fold because probably I cut it too much, I don't know. The sleeve are good. I did shorten the sleeve about 1 centimeter because that's what I always do. The length is okay, but it's too boxy. Maybe I should have done 1 size smaller, because I feel like the shoulders are slipping a bit, and it's a bit like, yeah, my waist is not defined, so I look like a little box. And yeah, otherwise the rest of the pattern is okay, but there's so many pieces, it takes forever, and the collar it's not successful. I had to put together the pieces by hand and then go back and stitch the whole thing, like all like this little triangle part. It didn't want to come together, so I just end based everything, and then I went back and stitched it with the machine. The collar is better. The collar ended up being better than my sailor jacket because there's no kind of like bulkiness. But since there isn't this little pad where the shoulders are, after the shoulder pad itself, it just fell so flat. So I think I'll have to undo the lining and put this little kind of like foam where the shoulder seam is to give it this kind of like more flat look. And yeah, I don't feel like I have anything else to say, but I really don't recommend this pattern. Unfortunately, sorry Burda, I mean, I really tried to find the silver lining and things, but for this one it's really been such a challenge, and I don't even know if I want to wear this, because every time I look at it I just see the amount of work I put in it, and it makes me sad because it doesn't look as good as what I aimed for. And yesterday I went yesterday I went in Simon's. It's kind of like the Bay or another kind of like big shop in Montreal, and I saw a jacket like this for under $50, and I felt so bad about myself. I was like, why am I going through this trouble again of like sewing my clothes? But I know I'm making this for many reasons. One, for my personal kind of like growth, because it's a creative outlet and I love this hobby, and second, because I don't want to buy fast fashion because of all kind of like the weight that's behind that industry. But still, I mean, whew, it makes you think. But then I went back home and I was like, I'm so happy to sew because it's just too easy. easy. You find something, you go with the store, you buy it, it's done. Again, it's like with sewing that you need to find a pattern, find fabric, and then you think about it, you sew it, you think about it, and then you finish it, and then you wear it, and you have a great story to tell about it. So I'm really all up for sewing and I love it, and I'm not stopping. But it's just for like half an hour I was like, having reflections about my hobby. Yeah, so here you can see there's needles because I'm trying to position my buttons, and I feel like this can be a final step that's a bit scary because you don't want it to kind of like mess up the whole garment. But yeah, so it's not done, and I might have to, like I said, open the lining again and go put this little foam where the shoulder seam is to make it look a little bit more flat. And the last garment I did is this skirt that's with the same pattern. It's beauty, like I said. I think there's like 6 panels for this skirt, and there's a little is it a slit? Yeah, a little slit so you can walk properly. But again, this didn't go well because on the pattern it's a knee length skirt. But these days I've been thinking that all my garments are like below the knee because I'm short, so all these patterns are probably made for someone that's like 5'5", 5'6", but I'm 5'2" 3/4", so everything is a bit longer on me. But I only realized this, of course, after making this slit and all like those folding of the panels. So I was upset and I decided that I would shorten at both hands. So I shortened the lower hem and I shortened the top, and I don't know how it would end up. I will put pictures of all the garments I mentioned in this video so you can see the final look, but still. And the facing is completely on the inside, so I didn't sew this already. I think I will do an invisible stitch like I did for the M. Yeah, so I still have this to do. They recommended an invisible zipper, but I didn't have one that was this length. I have one that's super long to do the what's it called, the camille jumpsuit from Sew Over It. So yeah, didn't have one, so I did just a regular zipper, and I used my book again to do a lapped zipper. So I think it will be fine, and I really did a great job with this zipper, so that's a good thing. But anyway, so yeah, been a challenging month. I think it happens to all of us, but yeah, I think it's the first time I really struggled with something and I just didn't see kind of like the end of it. Even now, like, I need to sew these buttons whole and really hope it goes well. Finger crossed. And today I'm wearing the Dana dress from the Sew Over It book. I love this dress. Those patterns from Sew Over It are so lovely and I really love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you like the channel so far, please subscribe. It's always a pleasure to see that you guys enjoy the channel. And let me know in the comments what have been your most challenging project of 2018 and why. And are you wearing this garment? Most important question. Or did you just put so much effort in it that you cannot even look at it anymore? Okay, so thanks for watching again, and I will see you in the next sewing video. Happy sewing! Bye!